So what's everybody, this is StudioSec. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be going over TryHackMe and we're going to be going through Blue, which is the first, after the tutorial, it is the first module on the offensive security section of education here. So as you can see, it is focusing on Windows and more specifically on the EternalBlue vulnerability. So if you don't remember EternalBlue, or maybe you didn't know about EternalBlue in the first place, this was part of a massive leak of NSA tools back in 2016 by a group called the Shadow Brokers. And it targeted Windows machines. It allowed for remote code execution. And so this is a pretty easy walkthrough today that we're going to be going through. But by the end of this video, we will have control of the Windows machine. But first, let's do a quick little tour of TryHackMe if you are not familiar, because if you are not familiar with TryHackMe, this is absolutely something you should use to continue your cybersecurity education. So we have our dashboard here, but we want to go to Learn. So they have several different modules that we can go through. And as you can see, they got cyber defense, a module for complete beginners. They show how many rooms, but even more interestingly, how much time it's estimated to take. We got offensive pen testing. We got Pen Test Plus. If you are studying for the CompTIA Pen Test Plus, there's a module right here for you. Then we got web fundamentals. And of course, the offensive pen testing is good for your OSCP. If that is a thing you are looking into. And then of course, we got all kinds of other modules down here. We got Linux, networking, web hacking, cryptography, so on and so forth. There is so much that we can get through here. And we probably on this channel, we'll be diving through a lot of them. These look very interesting, but today we're going to check out the offensive pen testing and we're going to go to Blue. So let's dive into it. Okay, so there's a video here. We're not going to watch the video, but it's basically just going to summarize it. We want to start up our attack box. It's going to take just a moment for us to be able to access our machine, and it's going to start it off with split screen. Now, what we do not want to do is have it in split screen. I would very much rather connect to it in another tab. Okay, we don't want to do that. So we're just going to let this bad boy start up. And then we want to start up the machines here. So it takes just a few minutes for all the boxes to start up. No worries at all. But yeah, of course, we're going to have the defensive box set up, which is going to be the Windows machine. We're going to have the offensive box, which in my case, we will be using the Kali Linux. It offers two different options. It has the window, or it has Kali, and I can't remember what the other option is, but it's not a Kali Linux. That's the other option that it will allow you to use. I prefer Kali. That's what I started with, and I am a creature of habit, so I will stay with the Kali. So we're going to start this box up. As soon as it starts up, we're going to pop it into another tab, and we will just tab over every single time. But as we can see here, we have 5 different tabs, or tasks really, and each have several different questions. So we got recon, gain access, escalate, cracking, and then finding flags. Now what each one does is it's basically going through the different steps of, we're going to recon the box, we're going to gain access using, of course, the EternalBlue exploit and Metasploit, and then we're going to escalate to interpreter session. We're going to start cracking, which basically we're just going to take some passwords and find the plain text version. And then we're just going to start finding flags, and they're going to be all over the Windows directory system. So, of course, to start, we're going to be doing an Nmap scan. Spoiler, but we will do that here in a moment. So if you are watching, welcome. Pop a Fighter Club, and Ashik says, let's go. Yes, let's go. All right, so here we go. We're going to pop this into a full screen. This is the browser-based. And here's another cool thing about TryHackMe. If you have not used TryHackMe before, I am actually new to it, and that is why I am stoked about this. Is TryHackMe, basically it's a virtual lab, and we've talked about virtual labs on this channel before and how important they are for your education. You actually do not even need to have one on your own. You can create one using VirtualBox. I just posted a video about that on the channel. But you can use TryHackMe's own virtual lab and you can just VPN to it. So that's exactly what we're doing. We are using their virtual infrastructure to start up a vulnerable, and let's take out this exit split view. Here we go. So we have a virtual Windows machine that is vulnerable to EternalBlue, and then we have our virtual Kali machine that we are going to use to exploit that virtual Windows machine. So how cool is that? So we're going to go ahead and enter, and we are going to kick up terminal here. So comment how you're doing today. Glad to see everybody here. All right, so step number 1, we are going to be scanning the machine. If you don't know how to do this, and because this is going to be kind of a guide, I will show you the hint, but you know, if you're following along, you can use that. You can choose not to use that. It's really up to you. We're going to be using Nmap, as it says. I recommend checking out Nmap. That's the quote. And this is the scan that you can use. And that basically means scan version, double verbose or VV. You can do single V for just verbose. And then you can even do triple V for super verbose. And then this is just a script running other different scanning scripts. And it actually has the script for vuln target IP. So we're actually going to try that because that is not what I used earlier while I was doing this on my own. And I'm kind of curious to see what the output is. So we already have root. Normally, if you are running this and I need to control, you can't even paste. I'm so used to just, you know, command Ving and you can just paste the command in. That is not what we are able to do here, but we will just paste it in. I'm so used to putting sudo nmap. We already have root. We don't need to do sudo. So let's check it out. This scan might take just a minute. So with that, let's just kind of see how everybody's doing. We got 2 viewers. Good to see you guys. Pop a like on this video if you haven't already. Very excited to see you joining. If you haven't checked out Twitch, I am also streaming on Twitch right now. So give me a follow there. Basically, I mean, we're literally streaming the exact same thing. And let's see, we got the Nmap scan done. That's because, you know what we didn't do? We didn't specify our IP. I'm a doofus. I'm a big old doofus. Okay, so let's take out target IP. None of y'all mentioned in the, oh, Shift Control V. Thank you, Fighter Club Nashik. Shift Control V, I will do that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, none of y'all mentioned that I left target IP in there. So, I mean, definitely egg on my face. But no worries, we are scanning now. And of course, with verbose mode, it's going to show you all kinds of cool information while it is scanning. One of the other cool things you can do, so that way you're not, you know, rescanning your target multiple times, is you can include a flag at the end of your Nmap scan, dash lowercase o and then a if you want output all. But you can do, it'll export in a maximum of 3 different output formats, basically the output of this scan in a file. So that way, if you want to refer back to the results of this scan, you can, and you don't have to keep scanning the target. Because as we know, scanning the target can raise some noise, can pop some alarms, and if we're trying to be super stealthy, we do not want to do that. So, yeah, I know, Dead War Dog 14. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. So we're going to let this kind of run here for a second. Like I said, this scan might take a second. Some of these things might take a minute, and hopefully we're able to get through this lab without any terrible restarts, especially whenever we start using EternalBlue, like in Metasploit, then we are going to start seeing potentially some issues with the Windows host. And sometimes TryHackMe might have to recommend to you that you reboot the host. That's just the thing we may have to do, but hopefully, we're able to get through this no problem. So how is everybody doing that is watching right now? Comment down below. Let me know. It is a nice sunny Sunday. How cool is that? At least where I am. I don't know how it is where you are. Yeah, this is definitely going to take a second. No worries. About 55.56% done. 42 seconds remaining, so we still got a minute. How cool is that? This is a pretty intensive scan. It's going to give us all kinds of cool information. If you're not familiar with Nmap, definitely check Nmap out, especially if you're wanting to get into offensive security or penetration testing. Nmap is a great tool you can use for reconnaissance. Dead War Dog 14 says, it's a good day to have a good day. Yes, it is. Every day is a good day in our beloved army. All right. Let's check out these results. So, and actually, before we start doing this, we're going to want to check out the next question. How many ports are open with a port number under 1,000? So obviously we can see that there are 3 ports open here, 135, 139, and then 445. These are all running TCP. I'm not seeing any other ports that are open, so we will put 3. Watch me get this wrong. There we go. Oh, and I should just complete that question as well. What is the machine vulnerable to? And of course, we're going to want to check. But basically what we do know is, since obviously it's hinted in the title, is that this machine is going to be vulnerable to EternalBlue. Let me see if it actually shows it here in this scan here, because I do kind of like to see and learn in real time. I don't know that I'm actually seeing it. Definitely not a day. Oh, wow. Okay, where are you watching from? That is late. And for context for everybody, Fighter Club Nashik says it is 11:30 p.m., so definitely not a day. Well, good evening to you. Thank you for staying up and watching. I really appreciate it. All right, so we basically already know that this is going to be vulnerable to EternalBlue. Again, it's kind of told you explicitly in the title, but, you know, again, hint. Revealed by shadow brokers, exploits SMB v1. And let's go EternalBlue exploit code. MS17-010. Just want to do that. MS17-010. Correct answer. How about that? How about that? So that's what we're going to use. How about that? Watching from India. Hey, glad to have you. Dead War Dog 14 asks, why does it want to know if the ports are under 1,000? That just kind of helps narrow down the services. Once you get up over 1,000, some of those can be dynamically allocated based on the service. Some of these are bound here. I'm just reading the question. Those are my guesses. I know, 135, 139, those are known. 445, these are actually popular and known ports that you might get quizzed on, like port 22, which is SSH. Let me think of another one. Man, great. Now you got me thinking on the spot and forgetting here. But actually, just to prove my point, let's do known ports list, because there's going to be a bunch that 14 common networking ports. This is going to be helpful for you to know if you are looking to get into cybersecurity. This might be something that you're actually quizzed on, and we would want to be 100% confident here. 20 FTP, 21 FTP, which is file transfer protocol, which that's another service you're going to want to know. Obviously, secure shell or SSH. Telnet, we hate Telnet. It's garbage. SSH or HTTP is another one. HTTPS is 443. Okay, so HTTP is port 80. That's what I was trying to think of. Cool. So anyway, those are the known ports we know about. Hey, what's up, Lexa? How are you? All right. So next question. Start Metasploit. Okay, so the command is start Metasploit, and we are going to leave this here. We want to keep the skin here because why the heck not? The command to start up Metasploit. Who can guess it in the chat? Who's going to get it? Real quick. Too late. I'm impatient. MSF console. So this will take a second to boot up. This is Metasploit framework. If you are not familiar with what Metasploit framework is, that is what penetration testers and offensive security professionals use to audit vulnerabilities. So as you can see, it loads up a ton of different vulnerabilities, 2048 to be specific, with 562 payloads. All kinds of very cool things. So find the exploitation code we will run against the machine. What is the full path of the code? So we want to take our answer here and see if we can search it. So search, Control Shift V. You got it. Okay. Okay, cool. So here we go. This is the, where's the one we want to use? Eternal Romance. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So I think that's the one that we're going to want to give a shot here. Actually, no, we're going to want to try number 2. So use 2. Okay. So, and actually we're going to take this path. We're going to see if this path works. And because I said we're going to use hints, well, first off, start Metasploit. Yep, this shows you the command. We're going to have completed this hint. Search MS. We just searched it, so we're going to paste it. Let's submit it. Boom, wrong. How about that? Okay, so that probably means we're going to end up using one of these other ones. Which one are we going to use? Third. You got it. Thank you, Fighter Club Nashik. So we're going to back out. How do I back out? Exit MSF console. And if you haven't been able to tell, I'm actually kind of new to some of this too. So we're all learning. This is a review for me because I already ran through Blue, but let's just say it was a journey. So Control V, no. That's not what I want to use. We want to do use this. Will that work? Cool, there we go. And we want to take that and also paste it here for the answer. Not correct. Why does it hate that? Exploit ... Whack. That is what we say to that. So we want to go back. Okay, we want to search MS. What was it? 17. MS 17. Yep. 010. 17-0. Do we just try 4? You know, we just, not the third, second. Okay, I might have tried the second earlier. Let's see if that takes this answer. Honestly, and here's the thing, okay, yeah, it worked. I really swear that I put that in earlier. No worries. Use 2. So here's the thing is TryHackMe has its answers that it's looking for. It wants you to use this specific vulnerability. Whenever you are attacking a machine, you could use kind of whatever. You know, if you know that it's, if it is vulnerable to a specific exploit and it is a high probability that that exploit will work on that machine, you can use it. There are multiple ways to attack a target. So, but whatever, you know, we're following the tutorial here. It is all going awesome. Show options and set one required variable. Now, who can guess the required vulnerable here? There is one required vulnerable, and I think if I can do show options, here we go. We should see options. And I'm going to give you a little hint here. It's going to be our hosts. That is remote hosts. So we want to set our host to the target. And the target IP is this one. So we're going to copy the target, set our host, paste. How about that? Okay, so we've set the remote host. We want to show options, set one required. We will do our host. Let's see, do you accept that? No, you do not. Oh, all caps. I can't read. How about our hosts? Show options. Okay, yeah, with an S. See, so whenever you actually specify it, thank you for clarifying. Whenever you specify here in MSF console, you can actually do just our host singular, not necessarily plural, and of course not case sensitive. Whatever, I'm not even thinking here. Again, I'm new. So set payload and okay, so you can actually attach payloads to what you're wanting to run. So, and it says, usually it will be fine to run this exploit as is. However, for the sake of learning, you should do one more thing before exploiting the target. Enter the following command and press enter. This basically just says we want to attach a payload to it. So that way as soon as, what did you do? Okay, so we've attached the payload. This is the path to the payload. It is attached to the to our attack. And the next command is we hit exploit. But before we do that, let's check and see. Okay, that's all it needs us to do. So we're gonna hit exploit. What just happened? Exploit, here we go. So now it is going to get us connected here. How exciting is that? We are owning a Windows box that we have permission to own. I should specify. If you don't have permission to attack a target, that is illegal. Don't do it. I do not condone that on this channel. So looks like we have actually done it. It says win. How about that? Session 1 opened. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is you're going to want to background it. And I'll read it. Confirm that the exploit has run correctly. You may have to press enter for all the DOS shell or for the DOS shell to appear. Background this shell with Control-Z. If this failed, you may have to reboot the target VM. And this is kind of what I said at the very beginning. Some things might just kind of goof up. Might have to do some rebooting. Try running it again before a reboot of the target. So let's hit enter again. Here we go. So we see that we are in the Windows directory here. We own it. How about that? Okay, so we want to Control-Z, background session 1. And the reason we're going to do that, and we're going to check this out in the very next section here, is we're going to escalate that to Meterpreter. And Meterpreter allows us to pass more commands from Metasploit to the attacker, because of course, or to the target, I should say, because whenever we actually gain access to the target, you can really only use the commands that the target allows you to use. And obviously we're in a Windows, so we want to run our, Linux-based Metasploit framework commands. That'll allow us to do all kinds of other cool things too. So it says, if you haven't already, background the previous section, research online how to convert a shell to Meterpreter using or in Metasploit. What is the name of the post module we will use, and then the exact path. Okay. So I believe it should be no. Let's check this hint. Shell to Meterpreter. So we could, let's try sessions. I should list the sessions. Sessions U1. That should, oh, that would help if I actually spelled it right. Sessions 1N. Should upgrade it. Here we go. So that is one way that you can actually upgrade. Remember, it's the -U flag, which upgrades. So let's do sending stage. Okay, so here we got the Meterpreter session 2 opened. So it opens a second session, and that one is running in Meterpreter. Fighter Club Nashik says, you got it. You got in first time, but when I did it, it was like the machine was testing my patience. This is actually my second time running through it. The first time was a process. Yes, it definitely tested patience. And heck, I didn't even know about sessions until I did this. So it's very educational. And again, like I said, y'all definitely need to try TryHackMe if you have not already. They do have a free way to try it out, but for the full gamut, you do have to pay for a subscription. No worries there. So stopping exploit multi-handler. Okay, well, I guess I still need to actually answer this question. That doesn't help, does it? What is the name of this post module we will use? Let's try session U. We'll take that answer. Kind of doubt it. I really doubt it. Yeah, it's not going to do that. Answer format, what? Select use module path. Okay. So what did it say to Google? You can never go wrong running with the Google machine. So let's actually try that. Command shell to interpreter Rapid 7. We like Rapid 7. Rapid 7 has some cool stuff. Okay, let's go back. Nope. Okay. We're just going to do some more Googling here. This is all an educational process, right, everybody? Okay, session. So we actually have the session. We listed the session. Auxiliary. What session U1? Okay. Let's see if I enter it now. So let's do sessions 2. Session 2. Unknown session. Huh. Interesting. Well, here we go. The post module. Okay, so where can I find that though? Use post multi manage shell to interpreter. That looks right, right? Post multi manage shell to interpreter. Post. Well, we're just gonna paste. Okay, that's not gonna work for us. Post multi manage. Post multi manage shell, and then is it underscore? It is shell to interpreter. No space. Cuzzy, you don't even working? Let's try refreshing this page. Wasn't even taking my answer. It's kind of rude, don't you think? Okay, so we'll go back down and, okay, well, let's try it again. Posts, was it plural? Use post multi-manage, post multi-manage shell to interpreter. Cool, there you go, you're right. Okay, so we want to use this. Use me and my fat fingers using. Yeah, I can't type. Cannot type today. No problem. Use. Here we go. Shell to interpreter. Okay, MSF post. Post shell to interpreter. Set session 1. Okay, so we're just going to post the shell. MSF post shell to interpreter. This is different from actually how I got in the first time, so this is cool, learning a different way to do this. Set session 1. Why did that not work? MSF post. I did use MSF post. Okay, let's just try taking that out. I'm spoiling it a lot. For others, please inform. I mean, I always like help. Here we go. Oh, no. I got a little too excited. Okay. MSF. I don't understand why it is not taking basically this shell to interpreter set session 1. I basically typed that, right? I didn't mistype it, right? MSF post shell to interpreter set session 1. Okay. Let's see if it unknown command. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let's just try set session 1. Oh, well, we could have just done that. How awesome is that? Okay, so then let's just try exploit. Which makes sense because we actually switched to that, post module. So I didn't need to, I guess, forward it 2 commands at the same time. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's correct. I'm guessing. I'm actually learning this as well here. Okay, so session 1, sessions. Okay, cool. So we're still there. To show options, what is the required change? use set session 1. Is that what it's, is this what it's asking? That's not what it's asking. Select use module path, show options. What option are we required to change? It'll be the session, would that not be correct? I think I'm not thinking in the right way. Because we've already, let's try jumping back into session 1, can we? How the heck do we do this? So select this, use module path, show options. So, and here's another cool thing you can do about TryHackMe and other things. If you don't know, look up help. So we're gonna do TryHackMeBlue walkthrough. These are things that are okay to do, especially if you're like me and you're learning in real time. So we got this cool article here we're going to read from Mrinal Prakash. So cool. Thank you for letting me read this. Okay, what is the machine vulnerable to? So we are in, which module are we even in anymore? We're in module 3. Just want to scroll down to module 3. Okay. Select this use module, show options. What option? All caps. Show options. Was it the session? It was session. Okay, which we did change that, right? So let's see if it takes that. It does. Okay, so cool. And of course, thank you, Fighter Club Mashik. That is correct. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking. Or well, I mean, I guess I had it, but I just didn't. I wasn't even thinking about how to answer in the correct format there. Set the required option. You may need to list the sessions when you find your target here. Okay, so we've actually set session 1 run. So okay. We did do that, correct? Exploit. We did hit exploit. Session 1, session, exploit. So we did hit exploit. Post module execution completed. So we should be good there. So, oh yeah, no answer needed there. Once the interpreter shell conversion completes, select that session for use. Because I'm sessions 1. Okay, sessions. Maybe I need to actually include the S. That probably helps. See, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, ladies and gentlemen. But it is okay. We're all learning. We're all learning. Okay, cool. So we're actually going to connect this time with Interpreter. We're connecting back to the initial session that we set with the target. If you remember, we set the target. We just had a normal shell, but we have upgraded the shell to a Interpreter shell, which allows us to pass Metasploit commands to the target. And so now we are basically getting back, going back through with the Interpreter session. So how's everybody doing? Everybody doing all right today? Also use tab key on the machine for autocompletes. Okay, I've been trying to use the tab complete. I feel like on Kali, not just here, in a couple of other cases, I've had issues with that. That might be another like control tab, maybe. I don't know if the key binding somewhere got goofy with that. This is going to take a second. It makes me wonder. I really hope that we don't have to restart the target so we can actually gain Interpreter access, but that's a thing that might actually happen that TryHackMe mentioned at the very start of this module that we would actually have to do. So let's see here. Once some Interpreter shell conversion completes, select the session for use. We've done this. Verify that we have escalated to NT authority system. To run get system to confirm this, feel free to open a .shell via the command shell and run who am I. This should return that we are indeed system. Okay. Background the shell afterwards and select the Interpreter session for use again. We're still waiting to get access to this shell, and you know what? I'm an idiot. Hang on. Control C. Yes, I want to. Okay, sessions 2. You know what I just realized? Interpreter. We should have used session 2. Whoops. Sessions with an S. I'm learning this lesson really well. Okay, who am I? PWD. Okay, we're right back here. We are right back on the target. Okay, verify that we have escalated to NT authority system. Run get system. So let's run get system. Get system. And let's see here. Get system. Oh. Got system via techniques 1. Pipe name impersonation in memory. Okay, I don't know if that actually answered our question. Maybe it did, and I have no idea. Run get system to confirm this. So, I mean, we know that we're here, and we're in interpreter. So, how about that? I think we proceed. What do you guys think? I'm going to hit complete because we've already been here. So, list all of the processes running PS. PS, for those of you that don't know, this just shows all the running processes. And this is basically, we're about to migrate processes. So, okay. So we're going to hit complete here, but let's do that. PS. Okay, here are all the processes. We want to make sure that it is running in the same directory that we are in, which is system 32. And I think it tells us this, migrate to a process. Yeah, okay. We need to make sure that we're in system, or we migrate to a process that is housed in system 32 because, well, that's where we are. So that makes it a lot easier to actually migrate here. So let's do, I don't know, what's one we want to do? Indexer.esc looks like a good one. So let's do migrate. That's the command, right? Yep. Migrate, and we want to do 2868. 2868. Cool. Okay, so basically that just means that if the process that we exploited with gets shut down, now we are actually maintaining persistence using process 2868. Sick. That's exactly what we need. And now we attack. Now we go hunting. We look for all the secrets out there in this lab environment that we have permission to be in. Which is basically flags. This is, if you're planning to capture the flag, you start looking for flags. And actually that's going to be task number 5, as you can see, find flags. Anyway, cracking, dump the non-default user's passwords and crack it. Now, okay, Fighter Club Nashik. This is where I started to get into some issues. And it wasn't, I mean, I was able to like crack the password, but it took me a second to actually figure out the right hash to use, right? And I'll show you what I did here in a moment. Dead War Dog 14 says hacker voice. I'm in. There we go. That's a hacker voice, right? I'm in. It's like you're Batman. Okay. So within our elevated interpreter shell, run the command hash dump. This will dump all of the passwords on the machine as long as we have correct privileges to do so. What is the name of the non-default user? So we'll do hash dump. Takes a second to actually pass the command. Cool. So we got administrator, that's a default. We got guest, that's a default. And then we got John. So, because these are, so we did this, let's do this. Copy the default password hash to a file and research how to crack it. What is a cracked password? Now, I think it was in the hit. Oh, you know what, John. There we go. Forgot to even answer that question. I think it's in the hit. Nope, it's not. And I actually, here, let me show you. Because you can use John the Ripper to do this. I did not use John the Ripper. Let me show you what I used. If I can remember, password hash. Crack station, that's what I used. Okay, because here's what I did. I put this in, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, that'll work. I was like, cracked hashes. Of course, it doesn't work. Well, username. I took that and the colon out. Tried to run it. This doesn't work. what I ended up doing, I took those colons out. I took these colons out. You use Ripper. Yeah, I mean, Ripper is really the way you'd want to go. This gives us the result. Now, whenever I put this in the answer box, it actually accepted it as the right answer. I don't know if this is... Did you get a longer password than this, Fighter Club Nishik? Because I did not. This is actually all I got. If I use John the Ripper, I'm wondering if it actually would have parsed that correctly and done that. I haven't played with John the Ripper that much. So, and I was just, by this point, kind of frustrated. So I just Googled, hey, how, what's something I can use to crack this thing? And, well, I found crack stations, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, and it took that. So let me know if you found a longer password than this. This is what I found. It actually accepts it. I'm wondering if it takes, no, it was the same. Interesting. Okay. So, and I guess my question was, or let's go over here. What's this middle garbled mess here? Is this like a hashed white space? If you know, comment down in the comments, because I'm curious about this. I figured, I mean, obviously we got the name. I figured this is like a permissions level, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong there as well. Not sure what this is. And then obviously the password right here, or the hashed password right there. Anyway, either way, we got that module done. So now we actually start looking for flags. So this flag can be found at the system root. Okay, so we want to go to, so remember we are in system 32. So we want to go to the C directory, list all, and here we go, flag number 1. So we're going to cat flag 1. And it's going to say flag access to the machine. So we are going, this part's pretty easy. Once you've gotten here, you're pretty much good to go. So we submit that. All right, flag number 2 is found at the location where passwords are stored within Windows. Now this one also took me a second to find. So this one is, where was this? Windows. Oh. Yeah? Okay, guess not. Windows. LS System 32. Yes, right? CD System 32. And we want a CD config. CD config. And flag number 2 is right there. Now, the reason I actually didn't show you guys why I knew to go there, it took me so long to find that out. I guess, I was actually like listing everything in each directory and reading. Not very efficient. Again, we're learning here. Flag 32, or flag number 2. So we're going to take flag number 2. And then we're going to paste it right here. Flag number 3, this flag can be found in an excellent location to loot after all administrators have pretty interesting things saved. And so we want to go to where we, okay, so let's go back to the C drive. Back to the C drive. And because this, again, this is like one of the first times I've actually tried this. This one took a minute for me to find as well. CD users. And then ls. And I'm just going to ls my way there just to make sure I'm actually getting the right deal. So we want to go John ls cd documents. And the reason we want to go documents, imagine what kind of things someone might store in their document folder. The previous thing was the LM hash. Okay, I'm going to have to do some research on that. Thanks for letting me know. The LM hash. All right, flag number 3, cat flag number 3. Same to remove the colons. Okay, cool. Oh, no, okay, here we go. Got my mouse again. Man, this box sure takes a second to respond to my keystrokes. I don't know if it's just now or always. Okay, so that's it. I mean, that is everything. We've got the whole deal. That's the whole shebang. That is blue. Ladies and gentlemen, how cool is that? Okay, so now that we have that, we are going to just kind of take any questions if anybody has one. If I don't know, I will Google it and find out for you. But Blue, you know, again, really easy. If I can do it, anybody can probably do it. Again, this vulnerability for EternalBlue has been mostly fixed by now. So finding it in the wild, I mean, while you probably might be able to do that, well, one, don't try. But two, you know, that means that it's an old system and they probably have not done any patching in the last like 5 years, which is nuts. That was actually 5 years ago. So with that, I mean, that's everything we got here. We will be coming back, and what's the next thing we want to learn here in the offensive pen testing pipeline? Next thing will be vulnerability. So stay tuned. We'll be going live with that as well. So hit that like button if you have not yet already. Subscribe for more content. Follow me on Twitter. Hey, and you can join the Discord. StudioSec. Check me out or come to this website. This is my website. It's not a phishing attempt, I promise. We have a new website where you can join our Discord. So that's exciting, and we can all just kind of hang out and go to TryHackMe. That's fun. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Okay, Fighter Club Nashik says, actually, after getting the machine, I tried to get a graphical RDP connection, but it was not able to do. I mean, man, that would be crazy if you could. Can you imagine? Wow, that'd be nuts. And for those of you that don't know, RDP, that's remote desktop protocol. That's basically whenever you are able to